Season 8, Episode 31, where we watch America's Sweetheart, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleader show, Season 1, Episode 1 and 2-ish. And she's got a tiny hiney. I'm Chris Lorenz.
It's old-fashioned, but you got to be put together. I'm Christina Lorenz.
Is it Charlie or Carly? Is the H silent? This is Noah Singer.
She's a makeover needing to happen. This is Max.
You might not get a lot from me. I got Botox. Bonus one for you.
Bonus.
Bonus. There's no room for letting these emotions show, Chris. No room.
Those are bonus. Those are quotes from this week's show. But last week we watched Barbecue High and we put up a poll on X. And you guys voted a tie. Top third and bottom third. So
wow.
I guess we'll put it in the middle.
Tiebreaker. Top third. I liked it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
Thank
you sure you voted in the poll?
No.
I like the guest tiebreaker.
Yeah.
The guest tiebreaker is good.
Good
Noah, what show do we watch this week?
Yes. Follow the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders from auditions to training camp in the NFL season as they chase their dreams and a coveted spot on the squad. That is America's Sweethearts, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders on Netflix.
Thank you, Noah. And let's just get out of the way first. Is this a reality show or is it a documentary? And I think it's more documentary than reality show, but it steals bits from reality show, like a lot of confessionals in this.
Yeah.
A lot of but it is like the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders are going to do what they're doing regardless of.
Yeah, by the classic Chris rubric, this is not a reality show.
Yeah.
Which means we should do CMT Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders Making the Team, which is a reality show, a competition reality show from 2006.
Yeah.
Also good. Watch that one too.
Oh my God.
Were there clips from 2018 from that show?
Oh yeah, there are multiple seasons.
Oh wow.
It sounds like there's 12 seasons, which is insane.
I swear we did that show.
I Googled
I guess we didn't. I can't find it on our backlog, on searching through our backlog. So it must have been something we were going to do and then we just didn't do it for whatever reason.
Man.
We also did, I think the Hard Knocks season we watched was Dallas Cowboys, right?
I thought it was Detroit.
Ooh.
Whatever.
Detroit.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, let's get to the show. So the show is people trying out to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, formerly shortened as DCC. Which
DCC.
I didn't know that until the show.
Of course not.
Christina, did you know that that's what that was?
I mean, because I've seen so many episodes of their different shows, yes.
Okay.
But I don't know that that's common knowledge if you're not a Dallas fan.
Right.
Or if you're like a cheerleader and, you want to be the biggest.
That's your end goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Def not common knowledge. Def not.
I would say definitely required. 7 syllables is way too much.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So in the show, they claim that the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders is the pinnacle cheerleader. Like if you're at the top, you're a top cheerleader. You're a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader.
Yeah.
Most iconic. Yes.
I agree with that.
I mean, there are entire teams that don't have cheerleaders anymore.
Yes. But that doesn't mean they're not the top cheerleading squad in the world.
And their outfits have stayed the same.
Yeah.
They have the iconic white boots and
stood the test of time.
Yes.
It is interesting that we're in Seattle and they had the Sea Gals, which was their much better named cheerleaders because they it was 2 syllables or whatever and not 7. But they're no longer the Sea Gals anymore because they allow guys on the cheerleading team. So
What do they call
it
them?
is,
Becoming more inclusive.
yeah. So I'm not surprised, but at some point you have to imagine guys will be allowed on this cheerleading squad. No,
I don't think
No,
so. I
what
don't
is
really
this?
consider Dallas, Texas, the progressive type of franchise.
Unless the NFL mandates it, not going to happen.
Yeah, ain't no
Also,
way.
not the most progressive of franchises.
yeah, but if you bring guys on, they can do way more flips. They get on people's shoulder. Like there's more. It's more interesting stuff. Sorry about that. That's the dryer. If you can hear that,
I
And
did
it-
hear that.
I
Okay.
did hear that too.
It might go off again. So
It's fine. It's
be
all
prepared.
It's all good.
Uh,
Yeah, but no, I just don't think the Dallas Cowboys business is going for inclusion. I don't really think I don't think DEI has a space on their agenda necessarily.
Okay,
If I had to guess,
I have a weird take on.
I don't
this.
think it's DI related. I think it's just like let's let men on the men are cheerleaders. They want to be cheerleaders, and you could do more fun stuff with men cheerleaders. Like I don't know.
I just
Should
don't
the
think that's the business
WNBA
thing.
have an all men cheerleading squad?
They might.
Yeah.
Do you don't know?
Yeah, I know nothing about the WNBA.
I would think that would be wonderful.
I assume that's the most successful women's league in the U.S.
In the US, yeah. I mean, gotta be, right?
What about
Yeah.
curling?
What about
Do you count mixed?
The laundry's done.
what
It
about
should-
the XFL?
But
It should be the last time it goes off,
Yeah.
but the dryer's still on, so
let me get
I
out.
don't really know what's going on with that. Oh, there it goes. It's off.
It's all right.
Never mind.
Nice.
It's gone. It's done.
But yeah, so I think the Dallas Cowboys, they are selling like classic Americana. Like they're America's team. They're selling "Make America Great Again." They are. I think that's what.
Whoa! Don't put those words in anyone's mouth.
I'm putting in the Dallas Cowboys' mouth.
Don't put
In
that in
their
Jerry
mouth.
Jones's mouth. You don't know what Jerry Jones wants.
Well, let me Google that. Let's see what Jerry Jones.
All right,
wants.
let's get back to the show before we get into politics here. Let's get back into the show. Okay,
Take it away.
so Dallas Cowboys cheerleading every year. Everyone tries out again. So if you were a cheerleader before, you try out again. So there are 70 people given spots to try out, and then there's 45 of those make training camp, and then 36 make it on the team. So the first episode is essentially tryouts, the 70 people. And then the second episode is like them starting boot camp, which is 45 of them. And we can get into that. It's fine. But so apparently you could be a Dallas cheerleader for 5 years, I think it seemed.
That's the maximum.
That's the max. So if you are peak of the peak, you're a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader for 5 years. And then after that, you sail into the sunset with your bags of money because you are the best cheerleader. And
Do
they
we
obviously pay you a lot of money to be the best cheerleader.
Do we think
Not
this
true.
is an industry standard, or they just have the 5-year rule themselves?
I
I-
think they have the rule because they want their people to be fresh and hot.
Yeah.
I don't think they wanted to be put it on themselves to be that harsh to people all the time. Like if you've been there for 5 years, it's like generally you've aged a lot in those 5 years. And they're like, instead of letting you guys keep trying out, or just like some precedent happened where like you're just done.
I think it's a good limit. Like you see in this episode, like how torn up the people get.
Torn up.
I think it's probably. Well, like if they don't get on the team, the squad.
Oh
the
yeah.
roster. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's nice. I think it allows people to like gracefully go out and not have to like be under that pressure. I think it's nice. Max, have
Hey.
you ever cheerleaded before? Cheerled?
There's a Nintendo DS game that only came out in Japan about cheerleading, so I did play that. You may know it as Elite Beat Agents, which was the US ports.
Interesting. Do you have to like execute the moves? It's like Dance Dance Revolution, but like on DS?
Very, very similar, yes. But you do it to like David Bowie.
Fun fact: the video game company I work for released a cheerleading game for the Nintendo Wii.
Oh,
ooh,
what's it called?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I wasn't there. I didn't work on it, so don't ask me.
Okay.
I do feel like that's probably like a less exploited game genre skin. Like, I don't know. I feel like
it was a Kinect game where you had to you had to make the moves and the poses.
That sounds awesome. Like, or even like
people that worked on it. People that worked on it bring it up a lot because they're like they had to test it and like they're testing it in their office, making these weird, funny moves.
I mean, even just like I'm sure they had to get cheerleaders to like help out. Like I'm sure they had to.
Probably not. No. I mean, they probably had cheerleaders come in and like do some PR maybe, but they weren't very big at the time, so I don't know.
I'm surprised it's not like there's like stripper pole workout classes and like other like workout routines like based on like professional healthy people. Like I feel like cheerleading, I'm surprised that's not like a type of workout. Like because cheerleaders are like they gotta combine a ton of stuff.
There's also a lot of technique though. It's not just no schmo can just jump into it, I feel.
No, but I'm just saying you take the essence of it. It's like a boxing workout class.
Yeah, dude, like Zumba, but it's basic cheerleader moves.
Yeah, like that type of workout. I don't know. I think it'd be fun. Yeah. I think people would dig it.
Well, I think the problem, Noah, you have is that cheerleading is like one of the like top reasons people get like young girls get hurt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they're doing probably that class you're probably not going to be doing like getting on some guy's shoulders and doing some flips or stuff. Like you didn't really see any of that in this. Like, like if we go back to like, is this peak cheerleading? It's like if I watch Cheer, that seems way more peak cheerleading than this like high kick shenanigans they're doing here.
Yeah,
they're like, they're not out doing like some crazy, triple axel routine. They're just like doing 50 basic routines.
It is interesting that it seems like college is way more technical than the big leagues, so to speak. You're not going for crazy towers here.
Yeah, no idea what's going on with that, like comparison wise. But we can talk about the actual people involved here. We've got Kelly something. She's the director of the cheerleading squad. Then we've got
Kelly McGonagall. What a good name, McGonagall.
McGonagall, like from Harry Potter.
So that's her. I guess her maiden name. Her full name is Kelly McGonagall Finglass. But McGonagall, amazing.
And then we have Judy Trammell. She's the head choreographer. And then we've got Charlotte Jones, which is the one that runs the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders.
Jerry Jones's daughter, it seems like, or niece.
Yeah, I was like some sort of relation to Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
This is a Nepo dynasty.
Oh yeah.
Well, Jerry Jones owns Dallas Cowboys. Like,
yeah, it's a family business. Like, he's allowed to do that. Fair game.
Yeah.
I'm just watching Christina deal with our dog.
Ted DCC.
Teddy wants to get in the action. Yeah.
He wants to eat the mic and eat me.
Oh man, Teddy.
He loves to eat us. He's a puppy. He's 4 months old.
What a pup.
Yeah. So back to the show. It is interesting that I feel like Kelly looked a lot like the head person from Cheer, whoever is running Cheer. The two of them seemed very similar and very similar personalities too.
It's worth noting the show was produced by the same people as Cheer. Should not be surprising.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Yeah,
I say that as if I watched Cheer. I didn't, but now you know.
You didn't watch Cheer?
No.
Before
I've watched Cheers.
Oh, where everybody knows your name?
Yeah.
Okay. It's hard to talk about the show. I don't know. We're trying to get back to it, but
we're a podcast that talks about shows. You've been doing this for like 10 years.
I know. It's just there's just this so the documentary is kind of all over the place. It's like trying to show you the Dallas Cowboy cheerleading history at some point, where it goes through like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Like the people that run this are like they were Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders at some point. And you know, at some point they show us like a 1980s uniform versus a today uniform, and it's essentially the same, minor changes. And you know, they do that. They've got somebody in here. What's her name? Victoria. Victoria gets a lot of screen time. She's a fourth year veteran, but her mom was also a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, and we see a lot of her in her. We assume, at least Christina and I assume, is her like childhood bedroom, and it's just like
looks filled,
filled with Dallas Cowboy cheerleader paraphernalia, like
epitome of like a Dallas, like what you would think of like a Dallas little girl's room that was never redecorated.
Yeah,
even though she's like 20 some years old.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Yeah, it's like if she was like 12 and loved the Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, and then at 15, like, you know, you have other things you care about, you know, but you never redecorate it for some reason. There's a single bed in the middle. It's very weird.
It is wild that she's been working her whole life towards this, and she only gets like 5 shots or whatever.
And then like the fact that she has major body image issues. I'm like, that they definitely highlight that.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I'm like, and clearly, like Kelly and Judy and the whole way that this whole tryouts and everything work, like, does not help in any way.
No.
So, very interesting.
Yeah, like they basically like dance all around her psychoses, like, but you know, without actually addressing it head on. Like it's tip.
Yeah, they're basically like, well, I want to make the team, so I'm gonna keep having my eating disorder.
Yeah.
Well, they did show her eat a meal. That seemed.
It was like rice cakes and watermelon.
There was also some meat. There was some like deli meat on the side. So I mean, she was eating. I don't know.
Yeah,
seemed somewhat reasonable, I guess. I don't know.
But also, they're at this practice like 8 hours a day. Like they're burning those carbs.
No, I think they only practice from 7 to 10 p.m.
They said that. Yeah, like the normal schedule was 7 to 10 because these women basically don't get paid. They do, but they make like, you know, $20,000 from this gig.
Yeah, like $15 to $20 an hour is what I saw.
Disgusting.
And fun fact, I used to work for the Seahawks for game days, and one time got a paycheck for one of the Seagals by mistake.
Oh.
And it was the same hourly wage that I was making as a college student, handing out freebies.
Rough.
So,
yeah, I find that like that's like the most disgusting thing for me. Like the Seagulls, I can't really as comment on because they're not as like the Dallas Cowboys are probably a several $100 million business on its own, right? Just like the brand value would it bring, whatever.
Yep.
And they get paid this like it's an end in contrast to the NFL players they're helping promote. Like I just find it really gross.
If one player gave up $1 million and split it 36 ways, each of them gets $27K. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
If these
And
guys are
there's
the
no
best of the
negotiating.
best,
Like the way the whole thing is framed, it's an honor to be chosen.
yeah.
So then, like, and then it's like, oh, by the way, here's what you make.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you guys. It's terrible in terms of how much they get paid, and this show is definitely kind of propaganda for the it's very much propaganda for this.
I mean, yeah, but they're also upfront about, it kind of also sucks to be doing this.
I mean, it's not amazing propaganda. This isn't 1930s Germany propaganda. This is just like, hey, everyone's
Chris really went
passionate
there.
about what.
Chris really went there.
They're just like everyone shows like, oh, it's such an honor to be here. I just want to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. It's all I've ever wanted. You're kind of propagating that mentality to people that watch the show, which are young, impressionable women that are cheerleaders that will all go on to also try to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, which will also not get paid very well because they're perpetuating this like how much of an honor it is to be on the show or on the team.
I get the argument, but it's like when I think it was like Jerry Jones's family member who runs it, she was speaking about this. Like you literally could have taken her what she said and applied it to NCAA players. When it's like, oh, it's an honor, and it's like, oh, it's just like for the and it was just like it just killed me. Like they just think it's like, no, you should be thankful for this. And it's like, no.
I'm not saying that what they're saying is the right thing to say.
No,
I'm just saying that this is just propaganda to perpetuate that like sense of honor.
Do we think they get paid for being on the show? Like,
that's a good question.
I think they have to.
My guess they probably get some like minimum like Screen Actor Guild, paycheck.
Probably.
But the real thing here is like they're not unionized. Clearly, like, and so they have zero negotiating power. Like the NFL is the NFL Players Association, right? That handles that. And
if the entire team unionized, they would just fire all of them the next year.
But that's where they but I think that's the thing. It's like they've built enough of like the culture to say don't.
Or they need all of the cheerleaders in the NFL to unionize. So then,
there's just no bargaining power. It's like if they all unionize,
they'll just say we don't need cheerleaders.
Yeah, they'll just walk out and like, well, all right, no more cheerleaders. Sorry.
I don't agree. I think if they did it right, clearly they would have the public on their side. Like, there's no argument that I think people be like, nah, capital's in the right here, not labor. It's like,
I mean, if I see the news that all cheerleaders are going on strike, I'm just gonna shrug and like move on with my life. Like literally, I'm gonna do absolutely nil.
Yeah.
Like if I had tickets for a game that night, I'm still going.
Right.
I'm not boycotting anything.
Unless the players union stands with the cheerleaders, and then it becomes interesting.
Yeah, like they're definitely not charity cases, right? Like a lot of them are very competent in things they do outside cheerleading, but like it's just more of like the value they're adding to their teams and how little value they get to take from that.
Well, Christina, I've got a movie for you called The Replacements that we can watch with Keanu Reeves.
Oh, what's it about?
It's about
really? You don't know this?
When the NFL went on strike and they had like replacement players came in.
And then like replacement cheerleaders, like it's a good movie. It's fun.
I mean the thing here, let's put it this way. Jerry Jones made an effort in the show. They even pointed out that Jerry Jones decided like the cheerleading used to be they'd lose money and now they make money. And I do think that there are opportunities, probably more than I would hope that when they sell a calendar or whatever, they get a cut of that calendar. Or like something for that calendar goes to them. Or when they're on this like reality show, they have to be paid to be on a reality show per episode. And I don't know anything about documentaries, so I don't know how much you get paid for that.
I mean, let's put it this way: they all have full-time jobs. They're not able to sustain a life in Dallas on their cheerleading, not even salary, but total
No.
compensation. However you cut it, you know.
Yeah, but they're
I
not
think
working
that's
all
what it
year
boils
round
down
either.
to. What?
They don't work all year round.
It's
They
not even
do
that.
a lot
It,
of
it
the
goes
time.
down to the value they're creating, and they don't get to participate in that value creation. That doesn't matter how much they work.
Do not
they
put me
create
on the
value.
side of Jerry Jones here. I am not
All right.
arguing either.
You're putting yourself on that
I
side.
am not arguing.
I'm
I'm just
Googling
trying
Marxist
to say that all I
cheerleading.
said was this show is propaganda, and you keep pointing at me like
No.
we should get paid more. And I'm like,
I'm not.
That's
I'm
not what
not
I
trying
said.
to point. Well, I think it doesn't matter how much of the year they work. It just goes down like they're creating this immense value, and I just find
What
it
value?
kind of gross.
What value?
The market cap of the Dallas Cowboys. I think they're usually the number one like most valued franchise in the world. Like at a soccer, football, basketball, like they're top 3, whatever it is.
I just
You
like
know,
if the Dallas
disgusting.
Cowboys cheerleaders like disappeared tomorrow, that would
Yep.
not affect their market cap in any way at all.
Yeah, it would. I think they're huge in Dallas. Like they're not big here, so you don't get it.
I think they're a rounding error on Jerry Jones's
That
budget,
could be.
and
Well,
you
yes,
look
on their
at-
budget, yes.
They deserve more.
Yeah. I think like at a minimum, I'd be satisfied if they were making each like 120, 140, like that they could have a life. At a minimum.
I'd be happy if they were making 50, from this. Just you got to start somewhere. Better than fucking 20K a year.
Well, we've seen like 10 people on this documentary, and we've seen all the people kind of going through this process, and all of them seem pretty happy. They really want to do this, so I'm not sure how much I feel bad for these people.
Totally. Yeah.
But we only see the best parts. So again, this documentary, more propaganda. Now, do we do more propaganda shows in the future?
I don't think you only see the best parts.
No, but we don't we don't. I don't know. That's what I'm saying is like I don't know how much we're seeing of the bad parts versus the good parts. All we've seen mostly is the good parts right now, except for some slight eating disorder issue.
Slight.
They definitely didn't make the eating disorder seem like a really bad thing. You have to agree with me. It was kind of under
but
the
like
rug.
any logical person watches and be like, "Oh, this is not a good thing."
Was it more in episode 2? Because like I guess in episode 1, I feel like it didn't hit on it so hard, or maybe I just picked up on different things.
Did
I
you?
think it was episode 2 when the mom was talking about it.
Okay, yeah. I only got through like the first 25 minutes in episode 2, so the last half hour. I'm blank.
Did you see Victoria eating with her mom?
No.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was the scene.
remember.
Christina mostly watched episode 2 because I had to watch. I watched episode 1 earlier, most of it.
To be clear, I've seen the whole thing, but
Ooh.
I rewatched it today.
Ooh. Oh, nice. Oh, all right.
Just gotta catch up again.
Should we just like? Are we allowed to do spoilers then? Because it'd be cool to hear like Christina like give us some resolution. Everyone okay with that?
Well, let's leave that for later. Let's go through this, and right before we're done with our new minutia, you can ask your questions. How about that?
Sounds good.
You can find out. We can find out about Reese, which apparently is another person we see on the show a lot.
Oh, is that the Jesus one?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jesus woman. She was apparently like a Miss Teen America. She thanks Miss America organization for being there for some reason. Another giant corporation that probably didn't pay her enough. So she talks to Jesus, and she wouldn't be here without Jesus's salvation.
God is in control of this whole process, she says.
And did we catch that she met her fiance because he like Facebook stalked her in college?
A, no. B, I actually didn't see her fiance, but Livia has also seen the end of this and knows what her fiance looks like.
I looked it up
Well-
on. Yeah, there was an article that links to all their Instagrams. So I just like went through it quick. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that guy's very lucky.
So Christina, you're definitely putting this in the bad light. So his name is Will, and they met in Bible study.
No, they met. He happened to go to the Bible study for the church that she went to. But they originally met because he's a major University of Alabama fan and she was a cheerleader and he slid into her DMs.
But Bible study, though, Christina.
I'm just saying. He
Are you
saw
saying
her
that?
from the sidelines and was like, I want her.
Of course he did. Everyone did. That's the
Right.
whole point of the
But it
cheerleader.
worked.
I feel like it was most likely the Bible study, but you don't know if he went to the Bible study because she was going to Bible study.
Guys, Jesus
Never know.
provided, okay? Don't question the process.
There you go.
God is in charge of the whole process.
Either way, this guy, like, he seems like some Wilt Chamberlain, like some kind of operator. Like, he's no NFL player. I'm sure he's a very nice dude. He's not like grotesque or anything, but like, he's out of his league. And good for him.
Jesus found the way.
Yeah.
I looked him up. He's not that bad.
No, he's not
He's
terrible.
a very,
but like,
very lucky guy.
yeah, like kudos, bro, kudos.
I think the moral is take that chance.
Go to Bible study. That's
Go to Bible.
Yeah, I think that's
They didn't meet in Bible study, though.
That's
One
what
thing
she said.
No, she didn't.
She definitely did. Roll back the tape.
She said he happened to go to Bible study at the church she attended.
Yeah. I mean, they might not have met there, but that's where they like interacted.
Okay.
The DMs might have happened. I'm not denying that.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a
anyway,
tape. There's
go to
tape for
Bible
that.
study.
The one thing I want to say before we move on from Reese is that she's staying at this hotel, and it's called, I wrote it down, the Great Gaylord Hotel.
Yeah, the Gaylord something. Yeah, the Gaylord brand. They do like higher end hotels. It's probably like a few dozen, maybe.
Very fancy. And I was like, as we were talking about money, it's like, how can she afford to be at this hotel? And there's like 4 of them at this hotel, it seems.
DCC pays for it. Yeah,
You think DCC is paying for this hotel?
definitely. Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
This stingy organization's paying for this fancy ass hotel? I don't believe that for a second.
I think they pay. No way they're
They
staying
might get
there.
a nice rate or something. Maybe the hotel gets to advertise, "Oh, we're the official partner of the Dallas Cowboys."
Or maybe the show. Maybe it's because
That
Could
too.
be the documentary. I
Yeah.
believe the documentary over.
Could be that. Yeah, the Gaylord Texan Resort and Convention Center. Yeah. Yeah, it's like $300 a night. So
Wow.
not nothing.
did we get a sense for how long the tryout period and training camp was?
You know what?
Yes.
Well, it was unclear to me what date of the year we were watching like the filming because they said July 19th is a cutoff. That was very clear,
Okay.
Yep.
but it was
And it's
unclear like when
2023.
we were saying that.
It was last year's tryouts, and it seemed like they only had like 3 or 4 weeks of boot camp because they were like, she was like, "Oh, we're gonna have to start really moving people up and down to figure out if we're gonna remove, like, if they're gonna make the cut or not." And it didn't seem like they were given super much time to do that. Like,
Okay.
we saw 2
3 or
people.
4 weeks seems reasonable.
Well, it doesn't seem that reasonable to learn 50 different routines, which seems like a lot.
No, these are all like professional dancers. They can probably learn a routine in a day.
You don't have 50 days, so you got to learn more than one a day. Just saying. Yeah. What else do we have to say about this show? There was an orthodontist on the show, which seems
Ambitious.
unusual because like at some point you've had to go to school, then you got to go to dental school, then I assume you got to do something else to be an orthodontist. No,
Totally.
Plus,
How-
she was
Yeah.
already a Warriors dancer.
well, that was when she was in dental
Oh.
school.
Right. But, like,
Hmm.
I would think that'd be, like, enough at this point. Once you're an orthodontist, you really want to
I
spend
mean-
your evenings. I don't
Sorry,
know.
go ahead.
I just thought it seemed like a lot to take on.
For a lot of them, it seems to be some sort of life stream to do this as much as possible.
That's true.
So I got some info. So obviously this was last year's auditions, but this year's auditions was June 15th. Like the finals we watched. So assume it was probably like again roughly the
Yeah.
same.
Similar.
Yeah.
All right, so a month before the cuts.
Yeah. Yeah, and it says like those invited to training camp will have options for housing within Dallas for the summer. So unclear what that means. If they pay for it.
We'll have
There's
options. There's a
Options.
$300 a night option. There's
Yeah, it's crazy. Man.
Let's see. What else do we see in the show? There's also one of the other big moments of the show is they do outfit. They fit the outfits, and they make this a big deal about fitting the outfits.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Sorry, I had to sneeze. So they definitely come out and they're wearing, short shorts and like these tops, and like all these women are talking about like sometimes it fits right on you, some women it doesn't fit right on you, and they're like going in there and like touching like the crotchal area and the boobs, and they're just like, oh, you're gonna fit this way, you're gonna fit this way, like
oh, she's not proportionate, or her torso's too long.
they're like, we gotta pull the shorts up a little bit, like the navel to the shorts has to be 2.5 inches, or like the belly button, and it's like, it's to me, it's a little uncomfortable, it's a little odd. I'm not usually in a place where like I don't, I've gotten a suit, that kind of do something similar ish,
Sure.
but nowhere near to like the level of like, professional like berating of people's bodies while this is happening.
I'm like,
So-
should I watch the rest of episode 2 so I can see this in action?
Yeah.
I think that's the last kind of minutia I wanted to bring up. There's other things that happen, but nothing super important. Christina,
But hey, they have plastic bags in Dallas.
Ugh.
Still.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have one minutia I want to bring up. Somebody danced during their audition to "Don't Want to Miss a Thing."
oh yeah, that's our favorite
Yeah.
song.
There were some weird music choices. Like someone chose Piano Man by Billy Joel.
That's not a good choice.
Was that Victoria?
No,
I feel like
it was,
Victoria chose like
Anna-
a bad song.
no, it was Anna Kate. She was the one.
Oh,
who-
yeah.
the sister of a former DCC.
Yep.
Oh, right.
Yeah. She executed it. Like they were like, "Wow, you did it very well." But like, I feel like you're making it harder for yourself choosing that song.
There's also like a point where if you make the like 45 or something, the like alumni come and like give you like some sort of like clap line, or I don't know what to call
Yeah.
it. It's a sort of human hallway to go down, and then they go to a mixer, which I feel like we spent probably too much time on this alumni stuff. But like, if you're in DCC for like a year, do you get an alumni shirt, or is it only reserved for like alumni for like 5-year alumni?
No, I think 1 year is enough.
1 year's adequate. Like it's
Made
such a
the
hard thing to make. Yeah, 1 year, you're in. You deserve it.
I mean, that's just a big group.
I mean, you have to do those high kicks and the splits. You're
Yeah.
in.
I
Yeah,
definitely
I
can do
think-
those.
I think it's totally fine. Yeah, definitely. 1 year, you're good. You're good.
I don't know. I feel like, somebody in there 5 years is not going to respect somebody in there for 1 year.
Ooh, respect. I don't know. I mean,
It's like you toiled for so long. Like you kept yourself in shape. You'd be able to do the
But
high kicks.
I don't think most of them are doing 5 years. I think like maybe half. Not even.
I bet you most of them are just there for like 2.
A year or 2. Yeah.
You think
I
it's
also think
like
very
I want
different. Yeah. Like
I want to be the pinnacle cheerleader, but I only want to be the pinnacle for 1 year. And that's not the attitude of these people.
No, I mean these are highly competitive people. Highly competitive. Right? To even like
it's possible that a lot of them do it for 1 year and then hate it and then they don't come back.
Yeah. Or they want to get paid, you know.
It's the money that keeps them.
Yeah,
it's like I need to go to my orthodontic school. See you guys.
But I also think like I don't know when it happened, but my guess like they alluded to like early 90s, but it seems like people before the early 90s, like a lot of the NFL, they were like not the elite athletes they are today necessarily, you know, where it's like next level. It seems like with the cheerleaders,
you're buying this propaganda, Noah. They're not elite level. They're not
they're elite dancers.
Go watch cheer. Go watch I'm like Vegas. Like those are elite people doing elite things. These people are doing high kicks and like shaking pom poms. Like
the
this
high
is.
kicks,
I'm not saying the high kicks aren't hard.
Later in the season, they talk about how all their like hips and stuff. Like so many of the DCC people's bodies are just messed up from all the high kicks.
Well, that one woman, she wasn't that old, and she's like talking about her hip surgery. I'm like, oof.
Yeah. Apparently, like so many of them have to get hip surgery. Because then they have to jump. They do jumping into the splits in the line.
This is why they need a union. Like they should be getting like health insurance for life.
Oh yeah.
If they go do this thing, like,
you guys. Why don't they just like not do things that like their bodies aren't supposed to do? Like
it's for our entertainment.
Exactly. I don't need my entertainment that much.
But so no NFL? Like people's bodies shouldn't be doing this NFL shit. It's like
just get better. They get better helmets out there, you know. At least they get paid to ruin their bodies.
Yeah, that's true.
They do get paid. Yeah, it would make it better, you know? It would make it better.
All right.
One thing I was surprised about, Kelsey. So Kelsey is one of the first leaders. She's kind of like the captain, or at least informally seems to be like the leader amongst the class. They zoom in on her pom-poms, like at her home. She was like making herself dinner after work. And the pom-pom kind of looked a bit ragged. I was surprised. Like I thought like DCC Cowboys would just have some kind of like sparkle, pizzazz to it. And it just looked so mundane.
I didn't pay attention.
No,
I'm surprised they have reusable. I thought it's kind of a one-time use.
Maybe,
I don't know.
Maybe it's a practice palm, you know?
Yeah.
They're elite athletes, Noah. They're elite. They don't do anything that isn't elite level.
That's what I thought. I wonder if they have those little shitty plastic handles on the pom-poms or if it's something more like athletic grip.
Again,
tweet at them. See if they respond.
These are people that are just shaking pom poms and doing high kicks. Like
Chris, you are underestimating what it takes to be a DCC.
For sure, 1,000%. We just need to bring the energy level down from Noah's. Like these are like the top. They should be in the Olympics or something.
I do believe that. Yes, I think they are pretty badass athletes.
I don't think this, like, if this was in the Olympics, it would be like cheer. It wouldn't be like this.
What, more tumbling or like stunts?
I think.
Yeah.
I agree with Chris.
There'd be stunting. There'd be people doing backflips and front flips and like there'd be crazy shit going on. And they have a fucking crazy routine.
They're more focused on dance than
No, they're
stunts.
not. They're just focused on playing like pop music and shaking pom poms, and that's it.
And the kicks.
It's all about the high kicks and the jump splits.
Like,
They didn't. You got to keep watching, and then you'll really like. They didn't show that yet because they haven't learned it, but keep watching.
I see a picture of the jump split and it looks insane. Also, it has been a long time since I've spent this much of a night Googling cheerleaders.
but you've done it before.
Yeah.
I think we're getting out of that.
I do like there's one cut in the first episode. So there's an Indian American cheerleader, the orthodontist.
Oh my god.
And McGonagall, Kelly, right? That's her name, Kelly McGonagall.
Yeah.
She leans over and she's like, "What's her?" Like she didn't even know
What is
how to
she,
phrase it.
Indian?
What is she?
When
It was just like, oh god.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Cringe.
All right, Noah, ask your questions to Christina about the whole.
Spoilers.
You could skip forward.
I just like I'm not going to ask anything pointed. Like, what are some good spoilers to understand?
The high kicks, and the split, the jump split.
Well, I would say as you continue to watch, Victoria becomes. I'd say Victoria and Reese. They already kind of started. Are like. They definitely highlight them throughout. And
they're the main characters.
Victoria is pretty much an outcast and like keeps wanting more. Like there's just drama because like no one really likes her, but they don't focus too much on why. But she just kind of does her own thing and she wants to be a captain and it's just drama.
Based on the show, do you think this then potentially puts us in the reality camp? Like, do you think it's like actually manufactured, like character building of her?
I think so because it feels part of it is like, does she actually care about being a captain, or are the producers just being like, you've been here 5 years, how come you're not a captain? You should ask to be a captain. Like,
yeah,
I think there's definitely some of that going on.
Yeah.
And then you definitely get a lot more into Reese and her fiance and that whole storyline. But she's very sweet.
Seems
and
like
then, spoiler, orthodontist does not make the cut.
Oh shit! Oh man!
Wow, they cut the Indian, the only Indian. The DEI hires not happening.
I'm trying to think what else. I mean, you get invested. You watch it. It's an entertaining show.
I'm just kind of curious, why do we care about Reese's fiance? Are they really struggling to like fill time for this documentary? Like,
I think because she's like America's sweetheart on America's cheerleading team.
She's because Jesus made us care. Is that?
I mean, it builds into their brand, right? Like,
right.
I think Christina nailed it, right? Like, what's more American than Jesus? Like, you know,
like she's marrying the first person she's dated. Like that's the kind of what they want all of them to think that's who the Dallas cheerleaders are.
Hence why I said the show is propaganda, and you guys keep throwing it, not believing me.
No, you're miscritiquing your argument. I agree with you. I just have orthogonal arguments. Yeah.
All right. Who's the worst human being?
Jerry Jones.
Technically, he's not on the show, but
yeah.
The looming specter of Jerry Jones.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you could go with the other.
I'd say Kelly.
And Kelly's just doing her job.
Yeah, but like there's a point where you're like, I'm sure the number of people she single-handedly has made like had eating disorders over the last like 25 years.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, how many hip problems have people had because they won't like drop the kick thing?
Yeah, like I mean, she means well and she loves it, but it feels like this whole culture she's built is maybe not super I don't know,
I mean,
It's not
Positive.
healthy.
Yeah, or healthy. Yeah.
do you
that's why
think that she built the culture? I feel like she just came into the culture.
that's what's unclear. Like building, like it's unclear that Jerry Jones and it's his culture. He is the CEO, owner, and all that. Or is he like, I don't really mess with this business. You guys do your thing. Like you're profitable. Like great. And it's unclear like who's actually setting the cultural tone. It more seems like his relative, whoever that woman was.
It was
Yeah, daughter or
somebody Jones.
Some sort of Jones.
That's his worst human being. Okay. Let's do some drinking rules. Anytime you think somebody has an eating disorder, take a drink.
Oof.
Christina, do you have a drinking rule?
I have so many. Anytime Reese talks about her Lord and Savior.
Literally,
That's
that
a
was
good
what
one.
I was gonna say.
Do you drink holy water or do you take a?
Noah, you have a drinking rule?
Yes. Every time they make it clear who the rookies are versus the vets, take a drink.
Anytime somebody gets criticized for not doing it right, take a drink.
Every time somebody says "Weehawken,"
Christina, do you have
Anytime
very
they say
phonetically
that your
correct.
high kick isn't high enough.
Mm.
high kick? Show them how to do it.
Mm.
All right. Would this show be better as a Quibi or a TikTok? I don't think so.
No, I think it resides in its time well. There's a
Yeah.
better way to say that.
Yeah, I think it could have been a 30 for 30 at some point, but
Yeah.
we're past that era.
It's
Okay, wait. I have a little bit of minutia. She's been the coach. She left the squad. This is Kelly in 1989, and Jerry Jones hired her in the same year as an assistant director for the DCC. So she's pretty much built them.
Jerry Jones is on it from 1980. When did Jerry Jones buy the Cowboys?
I don't know.
Find out.
I
Find
know
out.
he owned it during like an earlier season of The Simpsons because there's
He
a
bought
joke
him.
where
No, he bought him in 1989.
There you go. All right. What do you love about this show? Noah, what do you love?
I like a lot of shows that give you a look, a voyeuristic look inside a niche that's like very esoteric, or at least to me. I appreciate that. I like getting to learn something, and as manufactured and polished and propagandized as it is, it's still something I get a peek into.
A look at elite pom-pomming. Christina, what do you love about this show?
I think along the same pages Noah. I think they do a good job of getting to. You really get to know as the episodes go on, like the different character or the different girls on the team, and I feel like you get invested in like, are they going to make it? Or are they not? And it feels very genuine. Like the storytelling and how it's kind of cut feels more real than some of the other reality TV shows.
Max, what do you got for me? What do you love?
I love turning on a TV show and seeing some real freaks, some real true believers. It's almost like a cult. I don't know. It's an interesting set of people to watch.
DCCC.
I'm just going to let that sit there in silence.
Yeah, I'm not going to say a thing.
Noah's just laughing at his own joke, but he's not laughing into the mic, so no one can tell that he's laughing at it.
Oh, honest holding, because in the silence get the rules.
What do I love about the show? I love like the behind the scenes look at like the what it takes kind of to put on this like quote unquote elite cheerleading squad. and like how much people
Quote
are
unquote.
quote unquote elite cheerleading squad, and how people are like really into it, and that's kind of it was interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so now we do ratings, where we do a stack ranking system between top, middle, and bottom third compared to other reality shows. Max, I'm very interested.
This was a top third show for me, actually.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Earlier I thought it was a middle third, but earlier I thought it might be middle of the top. I might be down to a bottom of the top, but maybe I'll just go with my initial gut feeling. So yeah, let's go top third, middle of the top.
Max, I just want to point out that we're
Yeah.
stack ranking, and your 9 buckets should have roughly the same amount of shows.
No, shouldn't it be a distribution?
I don't think so.
No, actually, yeah, it should be flat. Well, I get very few top thirds, so be happy.
Yeah.
Christina, what do you got for me?
Top third. I watched the whole season. It's good.
Yeah.
I'd watch it again. I did watch it again today.
Noah, what do you got for me?
Yeah. Despite my commentary on the show, I actually think it's middle, top of the middle. I think it has easy potential to be a top, and maybe the later episodes give it. But actually, I think the editing on this was quite bad. As far as like a story arc and like how quickly they're able to like tell a story. Obviously the editing's great, like to a certain degree, like they're moving it along. It's very highly produced, but episode 1, episode 2, they're 50, like 55 minutes each, and they're not progressing the story, I think, quick enough that like makes you glued in, and that's why I'm taking it out of the top to the middle, but top of the middle.
Yeah, that's fair.
I also want to point out to you, Noah, that this is supposed to be 9 buckets, and they're kind of supposed to be equal.
I have no agreement that they're supposed to be equal. Like
That's how stack ranking works. We've all agreed. I've said it every week for the last 10 years.
why,
It's a
why
stack
do they
ranking
be
system.
equal? No, this is just like what I happen to have watched and what I rated. I'm not. These aren't like, oh man, like I got to the end of the year. There's a top open. You get the top rating. No.
Chris, this is like election like tampering. You're not allowed to do that.
I'm just saying that you throughout the season you should be trying to have the same amount of shows in the middle, the bottom, and the top.
But what if someone picks all
I don't
bad
agree
shows?
with that. Yeah, somebody keeps picking bad shows. It's not my fault.
This was a good show. I think it's also in the top third.
No, I'm talking about all other 29 shows we've done this season.
I'm just saying, you guys are a little too harsh on these shows. That's all I'm trying to say.
Could be that could be. I don't take
like this is a very good show. I think it's top third. It's interesting to get a look behind the curtain. It's a little propaganda-ish for me, but just as long as you know it's propaganda, it's fine. And if I'm not a little girl, so the consequences are minimal. Even if I thought it was propaganda, maybe I'd buy a calendar and put it up. I'm not sure how Christina would like Dallas Cowboys cheerleader calendar hooked up. Like
I used to have a firefighter calendar. We can have them next to each other.
Okay, we could do that.
I know what I'm getting Christmas this year.
Ooh.
Only if it's autographed.
I mean, if you're gonna get one, you gotta. I'm not hanging up a Dallas Cowboys one. Let's be clear. I will burn that.
Reese might be in it.
Don't care. Only if Reese signs it will I have it.
Well, I can actually. So the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders have like their own website. It's actually pretty funny. It's like it feels like it's from like 2012. The website. It's kind of janky. Like even right now they have a broken link. Like when you want to go see the team, it just goes to a 404.
I mean, they're not active right now. I mean, they should be active in a week, but
how hard is it to have a page like coming soon, the 2024 cheerleaders,
or last year's team up there?
Yeah,
it is crazy considering didn't this show just come out like a couple months ago?
Like last month. June. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like somebody should be on that. Maybe
Yeah.
somebody just got fired and they're like, "Oh shit, we gotta take this page down."
Oh my god. Interesting. So, wow. All right, this is weird. So, I've been looking around their site a lot.
Okay.
And they kept on multiple pages. There's probably like, I don't know, 30 to 25 pages on this website. Multiple pages. They're promoting their 2023 calendar. I never clicked on the picture. I'm like, whatever. I got it. It's a calendar. But I was like, oh, let me go see how much it costs because I want to go buy it for Chris. You can't actually buy it. It's like a slideshow. It's like a Business Insider BuzzFeed. Like just pictures.
So you
Maybe
just
it's
print
like-
it out.
Maybe
You can't
you
buy
have
it.
to buy it at
You
on
got to
site.
go. You got to go to Dallas to a game. Buy it there.
Yeah, you just scroll through the slideshow of pictures.
I mean, isn't that exactly what you wanted?
I wanted to buy a calendar. It says 2023 calendar very clearly. And I can just
Well, they're not
slide
selling the
through.
2023
I think-
calendar.
I think
Noah,
you just
why
have
are
to
you
look at
mad
other
they're not selling
websites.
this?
Why
It's
would
not
Walmart
they sell it?
2023.
I'm
Why would you
seeing
want
one
an
on
old
Walmart's
calendar?
website.
You are? Oh man. Yeah. I'm very
All right.
disturbed in this.
We skipped a question, so let's get back to this question because I think it's very important.
hmm
What speed did Max watch this show at? And
So wait. Max, did you watch 1 or 2 episodes?
1.333.
Okay.
Noah, what do you think? What speed?
I think your question's inarticulate to capture what Max actually did. So I think Max watched this at 2 different speeds. I think Max started at, call it 1.5x, something like that. But then he's like, hey, wait, this is actually halfway decent. And he lowered it to 1x.
I think it's always about what maximum speed did Max watch it at, or what like the longest stretch he watched it at.
Wait,
There's
I didn't
no
realize
like
we
you
were
changed
in a
it.
Max.
Christina, what speed do you think Max watched this at?
I was going to say the opposite, that he started like 1.5 and then he was like, I'm never going to get through 2 episodes, and he sped it up to 2x. And then he still only made it a third the way through the second show.
2x for sure. He 2.6x. That's what he watched last week. So that's what I'm gonna go with.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Noah almost had it right. I watched it mostly at 1.4, but I turned it down to 1.0 for the dancing because otherwise the dancing looks weird.
You don't have a dance fixer algorithm?
No.
Okay. All right. Tell us what you thought about this show on X at Who Put This On. We'll have a poll out there for you to answer. And next week, we were thinking about doing Chimp Crazy, but do we need to do the DCC, the other DCC show as a comparison?
Make the team.
It was on from 2006 to 2021.
Holy
It's on
shit.
Paramount Plus.
Episodes.
Yeah, it's on Paramount Plus. We can go get it.
I think we got to pivot to that. I think that's what we got.
Oh, I mean, I tell you what, the COVID year one of that is going to be real interesting.
I'm not watching a COVID year. I can't do that.
It'll be weird though, Chris.
Yeah, just like the most uninteresting. You had to come in wearing a mask. They didn't have flights. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh my god, I don't care.
Well, it's
So-
interesting though, but it's kind of it's. Oh wait, no, it was 16 seasons. Oh, that's why. 16 seasons of the show. Wow.
We'll do the 2019 season, whatever that season is.
I think you got to go to one of the early ones.
I
Yeah,
can't
I
watch
want it to
non-
be more different.
Okay, I
And
don't.
you'll see how young Kelly and Judy look.
Oh yeah.
They have aged themselves.
Well,
I
what
want
we could
Kelly
do-
and I want Kelly and Judy to be more problematic. So yeah, we should go earlier.
I think we could probably do two. My guess is these are probably half-hour episodes. I God hope so. Which like we could probably squeeze in, 2, even call it maybe 3 like epi ones, you know.
Epi ones. All right, we'll figure out what episodes we're gonna watch. Max, have any shout outs this week?
Nothing in particular.
Christina, do you have any shout outs?
I watched on Netflix the new Lacey Peterson, Scott Peterson documentary. Big documentary person. I thought it was pretty good.
Ooh.
Made me think Scott Peterson definitely did it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a murder from like 20 years ago. Like Scott Peterson was accused of killing his pregnant wife and child. And he's been on death row like since. But then like the project or the Innocence Project just took on his case. So it's interesting. There's a bunch of documentaries about it, but it's good.
Quick corner update. S08E31 is 42 minutes. So
it's probably the episode we're gonna watch. Probably.
Yeah. And yes, Kelly looks quite young.
Noah, any shout outs this week?
Yeah. I forgot what I shouted out last week, but Apples Never Fall. It's a limited series on Peacock based on the book. I didn't read the book, but I really liked watching the show. Beverly read the book and she was not happy with the adaptation, or she thought there was a lot missing, but I really liked watching the show. And then there's a not new show it's from 2022 called Eric on Netflix with Benedict Cucumber. And I'm kind of enjoying it. I'm not finished it yet. On like episode 4 or 5. But yeah, I've enjoyed watching it.
I don't think I shouted this out last week, but if I did, oh well. Bad Monkey on Apple TV. Christine and I have been watching it. It's very good. It's Vince Vaughn as a detective, and Vince Vaughn being Vince Vaughn. Definitely encourage you to watch it if you like Vince Vaughn. If you don't like Vince Vaughn, don't watch it.
Is it all out, or are they doing like weekly drops?
Weekly drops. There's 4 episodes out so far.
Is it better than Vince Vaughn in True Detective season 2?
Yes.
Okay. Even though he's not a detective there.
This is like Vince Vaughn, like old school, like Vince Vaughn.
Okay. Goofy.
I feel like Vince Vaughn
goofy, talks a lot. Like,
I feel like he really fell off the last couple of years.
Well, he tried to do different things, and now he's coming back to like he's doing his old shtick.
I respect it.
He did that Cell Block 99. He tried to be an action star. You know, he's trying to do different things. So
he could too.
He's got to respect somebody for trying.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn's very big. I don't know if you guys know that. Yeah, he's 6'5".
I thought you meant as a celebrity. He was very big.
No, I actually thought he's like a giant human. He's 6'5".
Yeah,
he's just so big.
He's a tall guy.
I thought he was like 6'7", 6'8", or something.
All right, this episode's going on too long. Tell us what you thought about this episode, the show, at Who Put This On. You can find us on Facebook.com/WhoPutThisOn. You can email us questions, suggestions at WhoPutThisOn@gmail.com. We'll see you guys next time.